I personally feel like the 2010s era of Cartoon Network was like a golden era of cartoon. Don't get me wrong, there was definitely classics before then like Scooby-Doo, Dexter's Lab, Johnny Bravo, and many others. But something about the 2010s Cartoon Network that really hit different. I feel like modern cartoons are made with the intent of exposing kids early on to like mind-numbing brain rot. Well, I mean, we did have the annoying Orange show back in 2012 that I think most people may have forgotten. No, God, no. Leave that in the trash can where it belongs. All right? That goddamn voice haunts me too.
To this day!
Modern day SpongeBob makes me want to chew on a damn brick. It genuinely feels like every episode is written by Diddy while he's behind bars. Not all the cartoons, nowadays in 2020s is shit. But we're here to talk about 2010 Cartoon Network. And we got to start with just how great it was. One main thing to me that helped change Cartoon Network in 2010 was the change of tone. It went from focusing on the slapstick style of humors in shows like Ed, Edd n Eddy and moving more towards story-driven narratives like Adventure Time, which will always be a favorite of mine. Regular show, which in my opinion is anything but... stop. Amazing World of Gumball, Steven Universe also come to mind. These shows, just like their predecessors, had great humor, enough for both kids and adults to enjoy the show, and they added some spice to it, to the formula, and they switched things up a little. They pushed for more character development, world building, and what was made to be considered entertainment for children, deeper and more layered, like Onions.
Oh, you both have layers. Oh. You know, not everybody like onions.
Adventure Time at its base was a whimsical fantasy light-hearted story about a boy and his best friend dog in a candy-filled land. But over 10 seasons, you can see the definite change over time. It became much more than that. There was a wide range of complex themes tackled in this show, and the way they maneuvered around the topics were masterfully done. Now we can start with our hero, Finn, the last human boy in this world struggling with the understanding of who he is or where he comes from. And his story is about how he grows and changes with the climate of the world being built around him. Which, in my opinion, is exactly what made Cartoon Network during this time very different. Before, in all the cartoons, as mentioned before, it focused more of the in-your-face hit comedy style. Whereas we can see Finn go from an immature boy who's grown into the shell of himself and becoming more throughout the show. The Ice King at first is like the drunk uncle at the barbecue that you gotta send home early, but as the show progresses, we see a transformation of him as a smart archaeologist to the creeper ice wizard king due to the curse bestowed upon him from the crown atop his head. Now obviously this is a metaphor for mental illness, memory loss, and even emotional healing, and it's a journey that they take us on through backstory episodes, even some little tidbits like the episode of Remember You, when when the Ice King and Marceline were singing together. Even then, the tone changes in the episode. It's more adult in nature, but still able for kids to be able to watch it. The bright and fairy tale setting is the after effect of the Great Mushroom War, which ultimately led to the human destruction and became very apparent as the show continues on. Now I can sit here for hours to talk about just how good Adventure Time is. We can go dive deeper into the philosophical depth, but we got a few more things I want to talk about in this video. Regular show was the perfect balance of humor and nostalgia. Each episode sort of felt relatable, or as you get older, it seems like they got an episode for everything. And for it to be called Regular Show, it was anything but... Okay, I'm not gonna say it this time. Regular Show was damn near The Office, but for children. There was one episode where Mordecai and Rigby are watching TV. They see a commercial for the Excellent Challenge. And the challenge was you had to eat a massive omelet and you get a trucker hat for completing it. Rigby wanted the hat, so he decides he wants to go and do the challenge. And then he suffers from a severe allergic reaction and ends up in the hospital. Yeah. He was allergic to eggs. So Mordecai decides he's gonna do the challenge for Rigby and get the hat. After a training montage, he goes to do the challenge. As he got closer to finishing the challenge, it turned to a damn Royal Rumble. And just when you think that's as weird as it gets, he gets teleported into a dungeon where he has to choose the hat. Like, you see how fast the show switches. Like, bro, we go from Rigby in the hospital, making us believe that he on his deathbed, he GG's for him, to Mordecai eating the omelet, a Royal Rumble, and then he has to choose the hat in the dungeon. There are many other shows from this era that deserve recognition, like Generator Rex. I feel like that show's not talked as much as it should be. Like, Generator Rex was one of them ones. Secret Saturdays? Come on, bro. You can't tell me they weren't heating up back in the day. Like, I do feel like a lot of shows were kind of swept under the rug, but it has like a core fan base that gets it. If you get it, you get it. Amazing World of Gumball, even. The list goes on. Now remember, when I talked about how these new shows try to fit in with the internet climate and culture that we have nowadays, I personally feel like the 2010s cartoons did it seamlessly. Regular Show literally had early YouTube and internet memes installed into the basis of the show, which was perfect. It didn't feel like it was forced, and it also kind of congealed teen humor and adult humor, and I think that changed a lot of the way the fandom's humors and essential personalities were shaped from watching the show. And packed in schools everywhere. Because I know a Regular Show, bro. A new episode came out. We were at the lunch table. It was one of them ones. Cartoon Network took risks by allowing these projects on the air. There was a different kind of freedom for the creators of these shows, which led to a more authentic and unique shows. The animation was different visually and allowed for a new formula to take place. In my opinion, this was the golden age of animation.